The CCP promoted the Korean War, intending to hijack the Chinese people to fight against the West.
Wang Qishan spread the news that a financial crisis may be imminent in China, signaling the escalating infighting within the CCP.
The Kashgar airport canceled many flights starting at 15 o'clock on October 24th. This is because a virus outbreak may flare up again.
Kashgar in Xinjiang launched COVID testing for all residents. All schools are shut down, suggesting a severe outbreak.
The city of Kashgar was locked down. Beginning on October 24th, all residents had to take the virus testing. The authority censored speeches and threatened the residents not to spread the rumors, doing nucleic acid testing overnight. I'm at the Kashgar airport now. So many people at the airport. Please respond. Please wear a mask. Only listen to official announcements.
我现在在喀什机场，然后现在喀什机场人特别多。
On October 25th, another magnitude 3 earthquake struck Mianyang, Sichuan. The same area has suffered 6 earthquakes within 5 days. The magnitude 3 earthquake struck Beichuan County in Mianyang City at 11:45 on October 25th. The epicenter was measured 18 kilometers deep. At 2 a.m. on the same day, another quake measuring 3.6 struck Beichuan County again. The epicenter came in at 12 kilometers deep. 3 earthquakes hit Beichuan earlier on the morning of October 23rd. Just 2 days ago, another 2 earthquakes over magnitude 4.5 also struck Beichuan County at almost the same spot. These events are likely the result of the region's unique geological structure, geophysical properties, and the effects of the aftershocks.
The CCP bullied the herders by digging holes in the ground. Herders who protested were assaulted and severely injured, such a heinous crime by the CCP.
A heavyweight drone lost control and fell out of the sky during its demonstration flight at an aviation expo in China. The drone was claimed to have been developed by a Hangzhou-based company using its proprietary technology.
Six departments jointly issued 38 measures and opinions to support the reform and development of private enterprises. For small and medium-sized enterprises severely affected, the CCP clamors for an indefinite ban on Australian coal, cotton, and iron imports. Industries, except for high energy consumption, continue to promote the reduction of general industrial and commercial electricity price by 5% throughout the year. Further open the major national scientific research infrastructure and large-scale scientific research instruments to private enterprises, promote the digital transformation of private enterprises, in addition, precise assistance to key private enterprises.
推进建设上下游衔接的开放信息平台。
Assistant to U.S. Vice President Pence was infected with the CCP-Virus. The U.S. political circles are full of crisis.
Hunter Biden's dirty photos have gone viral, threatening to jeopardize Joe Biden's election.
Hong Kong people gathered spontaneously, calling for the release of 12 compatriots illegally detained by the CCP. The Hong Kong people demanded the release of the 12 siblings.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Any complications in there?
No, not much. It was a very secure vote. Much more secure than when you send in a ballot, I can tell you that. Everything was perfect, very strict, right by the rules. When you send in your ballot, could never be like that. It could never be secure like that. They've done a fantastic job over here. Great people inside.
Mr. President, who did you vote for today?
I voted for a guy named Trump. Thank you very much, everybody.
From your perspective, one of the questions is, does this put the Biden family potentially in a difficult position if he were to become president with regard to relations with China?
Well, I think, and I don't know all the facts and all the allegations that are taking place. They seem to be bubbling up pretty fast and furiously regarding Hunter Biden and the former vice president, while the former vice president was in office. But what it is consistent is this sort of behavior and what the Chinese have done for many, many years with American politicians and elites is offering them financial incentives, offering them business incentives, trying to influence mayors or congressmen or elected officials by providing Chinese businesses to their districts and using that to gain influence over the United States. This is a long pattern of Chinese activity, and from what these allegations are, it sounds consistent. I assume the news media will, at least I hope they'll investigate and get to the bottom of it. I also understand there's an FBI investigation. I understand this from just the open source press, that there's an FBI money laundering investigation into these allegations, and so I think we'll get to the bottom of it. But it's entirely consistent with how China has used its influence, whether money or blackmail or fawning press or that sort of thing, to influence American politicians. And it's something we've got to be very concerned about.
Clearly, it's not Russia. It's indeed China that poses the gravest national security threat. And matter of fact, the Director of National Intelligence, John Radcliffe, in August actually said that. And in this case, we've got information that can lead us to believe that China does have compromising material, not only on Hunter Biden, but perhaps Joe Biden himself. So that should lead every American voter to ask a question. Will China have this material to blackmail a President Biden? And I think the answer is yes, if you look, especially if you look at that November 2011 meeting in the White House between the China Entrepreneur Club and the vice president himself.
Is there evidence that potentially Joe Biden knew about this, took part in the meeting that Tony Bobulinski talks about him being a part of?
Well, there's the email, and then there's Bobulinski. Those are two pieces of evidence. But what I would say to the Biden campaign and to its media allies, and certainly to the big tech censors, is okay. Let's reporting be done about this. Don't shut it out. But they're doing a sort of two-flank movement where the media says, puts its hands in its ears and says, "There's nothing here. There's nothing here. There's nothing here." And then they have the help of these dweebs in Silicon Valley who can shut down debate. So then we can't talk about it. Let's talk about it. It's a legitimate issue. And if the Biden campaign wants to present something else, but remember, they've yet to say that the emails are not authentic. The Biden campaign has yet to say that the laptop's ownership, they haven't disputed that. So let's talk about it.
I could read, 5 different publications tied together. But you got to read this. You've got to go through it. What is they talk about, is it Tiger Yang because his name really hasn't come up. You hear Xi and Wang Xishan, but it's really not the foreign minister, but the kind of the vice premier is in charge of all the international strategy for them. And he goes by the name, is it Tiger Yang? Explain who this guy is and why he's so important in this operation, because he's a new name. We're going to make him famous, but he's kind of a new name to the American people.
Yeah, so if you follow basically the timeline here of how things took place, it appears that Hunter signed his deals to form this corporation, and some of the primary organizations were basically linked to the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs and this was in 2013. And the foreign minister at the time was a gentleman by the name of Yang Jiechi, Tiger Yang. And he is important for two reasons. Because first of all, if we go back in time, he was the Chinese ambassador to the United States during the early Bush administration. Coincidentally, when Joe Biden was chairing the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, and there's lengthy records of them meeting over his time in the United States when Biden was chairing the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. So first of all, when Hunter would have been visiting China beginning in 2008 through signing his deal in 2013, Yang was foreign minister during a major chunk of that time, and he would have been very, very aware of what was happening and the importance of Hunter Biden, both as who Hunter Biden was individually and who Hunter was within American politics writ large. Fast forward, Yang stepped down as foreign minister of China and became Xi Jinping's right-hand man within the CCP for all of foreign affairs, and now sits on the Politburo. And just to make one thing clear to your listeners, in case this isn't already known, in America and in a lot of Western countries, we think of the foreign minister as the head of foreign affairs. But in Chinese power structure, the party sits above all politicians and government bureaucrats. So actually, the director of foreign affairs for CCP is the boss of the Minister of Foreign Affairs. So this is essentially the individual that will be directing Chinese strategy to the United States, and he has this relationship with Vice President Biden going back 20 years, and he was the individual that was essentially what the report thinks of as the godfather of arranging these deals for Hunter Biden.
The significance of the Hunter Biden and Obama photo. First of all, on April 4th, 2016, which angle was this photo taken from? Who took it? What were they doing? You have to know. For example, Dr. Guan, you and someone else plans to do something in secret somewhere. You thought you were absolutely hidden, but suddenly a photo of you two leaked. Would you not to be scared to death? Absolutely. What about you, Dr. Bo? Of course. Where did this photo come from? How did it leak? That's right. How did it leak? This is just too terrible. Not only the photo itself, it also tells them we also have the transcript of your conversation. I mean, who is Mr. O? On April 4th, which event was this tied to? What did they talk about? You can see from the angle of this photo, it wasn't taken when people in it were posing, such as making a handshake, right? This is this photo's significance. We don't get it. However, Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, and Obama, when they see this, they will be frozen in terror. This was found in Biden's laptop, not CIA's hard drive. It was from Biden's laptop. Just think about it. We have told you before, it did not occur to Obama that his own Secret Service had these cameras installed against them, and this could be found in the hard drive belonging to the Bidens. Think about what this means. What is the meaning of this, everyone? Right now, in the hard drive in Biden's computer, legally there are even photos of everything about Obama and all the dealings, etc. Was it Joe Biden? And who? Because this was from Hunter Biden's laptop, right? Think about the logic behind this and the kind of terrible damage this can do to them.
谁啊？是乔拜登专门，因为是拜登电脑里出来的，是不是啊？这个逻辑关系大家想想啊，对他们是多么恐怖的一件事。
Mark Short, Chief of Staff for Vice President Mike Pence, tests positive for coronavirus. Pence's Press Secretary Devin O'Malley said Vice President Pence and Mrs. Pence both tested negative for COVID-19 today and remain in good health. Poland's president tests positive for COVID-19. Colombia surpasses 1 million COVID-19 cases. Spanish PM says coronavirus infections may be triple estimates. North Korea warns citizens to stay home, says dust from China may spread coronavirus. Florida health official discourages birthday parties of all sizes. Yomiuri says ANA Holdings to slash 3,500 jobs, transfer workers.
I got a million things I wish I could have said to you, but I'll start with I'm so proud. Yeah, you're doing the things that should have been done a long time ago. And I know, and I know, and I know